Hello. Hello, butthole. You doing okay?
I'm doing okay. How about you?
I'm doing great. How's everybody at home?
Hopefully you're all good.
You're all good.
All good.
You ready for another exciting program of Misty and Ike?
I am.
I just can't get that word out of my
You
mouth.
can't.
Wow.
It's a podcast.
It's Misty and Ike.
It's a podcast program.
It is a podcast program.
You know.
Yep.
It's close to a talk show, so that's a program.
We're still talking ourselves into what it is 171
really
episodes
are.
later.
Well, we're still discovering what the show is going to evolve itself into.
Yeah. We're changing daily just for you guys.
We are. It's been interesting.
Yeah.
You know what else changes daily?
Our intro.
Niagara Falls.
Oh, that's also true. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Niagara Falls.
We are.
You know what got us started about talking about Niagara Falls?
I don't. Tell me.
One day, on this day, in 1903, it dried up because of a drought.
The whole falls.
The whole falls. We're going to find out about it right after this.
Okay. I'm Misty.
And I'm Ike.
For the next 15 minutes,
We're going to debate pop culture.
my background's in music.
My background's in film,
I know the topics beforehand.
and I don't.
We check the internet for the facts,
And ruin it with opinions.
from pop rocks in your lunchbox.
To Happy Meal toys and swatch clocks. Welcome back to the after the intro portion of the show.
So it dried up.
It did.
Like the whole Niagara Falls dried up.
I don't have that article right in front of me. I'm on NiagaraFallsLive.com.
Are you watching the falls right now?
I wish. Can I do that?
You can. They have live cams.
Live cams. Live. Oh my
Live
goodness.
cams.
We should pipe this into the cut.
Into the live cam down at the bottom.
Niagara Falls.
I like that idea.
Tourism information. Live view of Niagara Falls.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it. It's falling.
It does that. It's a waterfall.
That is a lot of water. Have you ever been on the Loch Ness live cam?
No.
Yeah, there's one that
That just sits there and waits for Nessie to come out.
Yeah.
You'll never see me again. I'll
yeah.
go home and turn my computer on and just sit there forever waiting for Nessie. Just like, she's going to come one of these days, and I'm not going to miss it.
I'll be honest with you. Since Instagram has made that thing where it can make pictures kind of loop,
Right.
this live Niagara Falls kind of looks like an Instagram GIF. GIF?
Oh,
GIF.
I hate that word.
Let's get into some facts.
I have a few. I mean, first of all, we should probably tell everyone Niagara Falls is located. There's a border of Canada and the United States. So it's Ontario, Canada, and New York are the two places that it borders.
Does the border go right down the middle of the river?
No,
It
doesn't work that way.
Is the park between? So there's two falls.
Three.
There's three.
There's the American Falls, the Bridal Veil Falls, and Horseshoe Falls.
Okay.
Trace.
It looks like two
Okay.
from the big wide picture I'm looking at.
Right. Well, there's three.
Which is which?
So Bridal Veil Falls is a tiny little chunk right before you hit the American Falls, and there's a little piece of land right in between it. So that's probably why it looks like two. So if you see the American Falls, Bridal Veil Falls is right underneath it. And then Horseshoe Falls is on the other side of the island, the Three Sisters Island.
Yeah, it just seems like
Cattywampus.
I've got a picture that says American Falls and Bridal Falls, and
Right, because they're
one
essentially like like I said, there's a tiny little piece of land that separates them.
Do you know what the length of the brink is? The brink where it just goes over,
I don't.
It's 1,060 feet wide on the American side.
That's pretty wide.
Yeah, it's 176 feet tall.
And that's the actual American Falls waterfall part.
Yeah, which is weird because it falls onto some rocks. So I don't know if it's measuring actual free fall.
Right. Or down to the bottom of where the water.
Here's some clarification. Due to the rocks at the base, actual fall is 70 feet on the American side.
That's a significant fall. I mean,
dude, check it out. All right. Guess how many gallons just on the American side?
This is what I'm excited about.
Yeah.
I want to hear these things.
Yeah.
How much?
Gallons per second.
Per second.
Gallons per second. Go over the falls.
500,000.
Just on the American side.
250,000.
150,000 U.S. gallons go over the American Falls.
A lot of water every second.
Yeah, it takes 4 gallons to flush your toilet.
That gives me a lot better of an idea of how that.
Yeah. The average water hose, like if you turn on the hose full blast at your house, that's 6 gallons per minute.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're talking about 150,000 gallons
a
second. That's cool.
So to kind of play off of that, it produces the highest like flow rate of water of any waterfall on Earth.
Right.
There's more water that goes over those falls than anywhere else on Earth. So as much as like a lot of people are like, oh, Niagara Falls, cheesy little touristy trap. No, it's an actual like wonder of the world.
Yeah. Which is weird.
It's like a big deal.
Well, you want to know all the stats on the Canadian Horseshoe Falls side?
Tell me some. I mean, tell me some interesting
Same
ones.
stats. The length of brink is 2,600 feet.
So it's way wider.
It's way
twice
wider.
as wide.
Yeah. Like when you think of the Niagara Falls in your head, you're thinking of the Canadian side.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I tell a lot of people that because we play in Buffalo a lot at the arena. And a lot of people, that's their day off trip is to go see the falls. And I'm like, you need to cross the border and go over to Canada to see the real stuff.
Or you can get in a boat.
You can. The Maid of the Mist.
Yeah.
I've been on it. Also featured in Bruce Almighty.
Yeah. Or the Niagara Jet, which is, it's got like it's a speedboat kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Guess how tall it is?
I don't know.
I mean, it would
How much was the American side? How tall?
176 feet.
Okay.
So it'd kind of be weird if one was way higher than the other. This is 167 feet.
Why would that be weird?
Well, if you're just listening, I'm holding my hands in different sizes. But like, if you're watching, it's only 8 feet difference.
Right, but why would it be weird if they were a lot more different?
Because if one side was like 100 and 200, 300 feet tall, all the water would just go to the lower side.
Well, I wasn't thinking about the water. I was thinking about what created the falls. And like if they were created at like different times by different events, then they would probably be different heights.
Right, but it must have been one event because...
Yeah, it actually, they were created by glacier activity about 10,000 years ago.
Interesting.
So, I mean, they probably did progress at different rates, but created
what
by
website
both.
are you on?
Sometimes when we look up like sciencey nerd things, I look up kid websites because I find that like those are the most teachable things that what you would, teach children to understand.
I love it.
So I'm on a kid site called Science Kids.
Did you know? I think you're going to love this because this has your name in it.
Uh-oh.
There's a zip line that goes down to the falls. Do you know what it's called? The Mist Rider.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you were ziplining, you'd get hit in the face by all the mist coming off the water.
What a cool picture, man.
Yeah.
I would definitely ride. That is the only
I would
time,
do that. I love ziplining.
That's the only time I'd ride the Mist Rider. You got a new nickname now.
The Mist Rider.
Hey.
I had Red Dragon last week, Dragon Head.
Oh, you'll end up being
Mist Rider.
You'll have a Victorian name where it's like
Victorian. Why?
It'll be the Red Dragon, Mist Rider, first of her name, House of Roberts.
I like that.
Lord of all cats or whatever.
Lord, fuck you. I don't know how many times on the show I have to explain to you that I don't even like cats.
Which is why it's so weird that you have so many of them.
I have no cats. They stink. They pot their poop and then get on the countertops.
How many gallons per
nightmare.
second on the Canadian side?
Well, it was 150,000 per second on the American side. So I'm going to say it's probably similar.
Well, it's 1,600 feet wider.
Oh, 200,000.
600,000.
So a whole lot more.
Now, it is a whole lot more. So
whole lot more.
Combined, it's 750,000 gallons a second. Now, it is regulated by the 2 hydroelectric plants.
Right, because the falls provide a huge amount of electricity, which is super cool.
Well, the falls themselves don't actually provide any electricity, do they?
They're the source of hydropower, which produces large amounts of electricity.
Is there a hydroelectric dam there? Because
Yes.
I thought it was upriver.
There are hydroelectric stations in the area, and they divert water during the summertime when there's a lot more tourists there, so that the tourists get to see spectacular flow of water.
Spectacular flow.
Yeah.
Trivia question.
Tell
Do the falls freeze in the wintertime?
Ooh, that's a lot of water to freeze. But it's also cold as shit in the winter.
Yeah, it
there.
is.
Are we talking like freeze completely? Like you could go ice skating on top of them?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I don't know if they freeze completely. I think that parts of it, yeah.
The answer is yes and no.
Okay.
Then it says, we'll try and explain. So I'm going to read this off of the NiagaraFallsLive.com website. The tremendous volume of water never stops flowing. The falling water and mist create ice formations along the banks of the falls and river. This can result in mounds of ice as thick as 50 feet. If the winter is cold for long enough, the ice will completely stretch across the river and form what is known as an ice bridge.
That's awesome.
Yeah. This ice bridge can extend for several miles downriver until it reaches the area known as the Lower Rapids. Well, I didn't know there were lower rapids. Until 1912, visitors were allowed to walk out on the ice bridge and view the falls from below. February 24th of 1888, the local newspaper reported that at least 20,000 people watched or tobogganed on the ice.
Tobogganed.
Yeah.
So sledded.
Yeah.
On the ice.
Shanties selling liquor, photographs, and curiosities abundant. On February 4th, 1912, the ice bridge broke up and 3 tourists' lives were lost. That'll do it.
That will do
That's
it.
why we can't have nice things.
We always got to fuck it up, don't we?
Yeah. There can also be a great deal of mini icebergs which flow down the Niagara River from frozen Lake Erie. The flow of ice has been reduced considerably by the yearly installation of the ice boom on Lake Erie.
The ice boom?
The ice boom is a long floating chain, 2 miles long, of steel floats strung across the Niagara River from Buffalo, New York to Fort Erie, Ontario. It is set in place during the month of December and removed during the month of March or April. It is maintained by the New York State Power Authority. The ice boom helps prevent the ice from clogging the river and, most importantly, the hydroelectric company's water intakes.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and then they have just a picture of a regular old bridge. So I don't know what's going on there.
Well, that's probably not the one. Do you know it's illegal to go over Niagara Falls?
Yeah, we should definitely talk about that.
Okay. So it's illegal and also just really not a smart thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of people have tried it and a few survived. Some were injured and some were killed. A tightrope walker crossed Niagara Falls for the first time in 1859.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2012, Nick Walinda from the famous Lawindas, which are so cool.
Yeah.
So awesome. He became the first person to cross by tightrope in over 116 years. But he had to get permission from both Canada and the United States governments.
That's right.
He was required to carry his passport with him.
Wow.
So that when he entered the Canadian side, he was able to show them his passport and do a proper border crossing.
That's pretty
I think
rad.
that's so awesome.
Yeah. Do you know how many people have gone over the falls?
How many?
Since 1850, more than 5,000 people.
People are so stupid.
But they're not all
like, how did they not just win Darwin Awards?
Well, not all of them are like, I'm trying to break a record.
Oh, some of them did it accidentally?
Some people are sad in their hearts.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
So 5,000 people
about
have gone
that.
over Niagara Falls either intentionally as stunts or suicide attempts or accidentally. So that counts people that like accidentally fall in.
That would be me. I'd be like, plurk, sorry. Yeah. I just fell in because I'm an idiot.
The first person recorded to survive going over the falls was school teacher Annie Edson Taylor, who in 1901 successfully completed the stunt inside an oak barrel.
Leave it to a school teacher.
That's right.
Right?
Yep. Women.
Amazing.
Women have been blazing the trail since 1850.
Right?
One side note back to the did it freeze? On March 29th, 1848, it did completely freeze for several hours, and there was no water flow.
That's pretty awesome.
We haven't even gotten to the reason why we started talking about this in the first place.
Well, and we need to get to it pretty quick because we're almost out of time.
So
it
doesn't talk about it. I gotta find it.
Well, I will tell you, Niagara Falls is visited by 30 million people every year.
What?
30 million people.
Okay, let's do the math on that.
And Niagara Falls State Park is also the oldest state park in the United States. It was established in 1885.
30
mil.
Right?
Divided by 365.
4, 5, one more zero. Divided by 365 equals, if it was average, 82,000 people a day.
That's incredible. Obviously, there's a lot more during the summer.
Right.
A lot less during the winter. But
right. But man, that's a lot of sandwiches.
80,000 people a day?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's nuts.
It's Niagara Falls.
It's Niagara Falls.
So?
As long as it's not Friday.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.